Southern people outside of the East Coast view music more healthy, in my opinion.
Yo. We are Illinois.
Check out the full podcast. Link below.
Let's talk about this, man.
Jay Z overrated? You know,
Yikes!
I've been going to the barbershop because I get haircuts.
Okay.
And lately the conversation is Jay Z is nowhere near the greatest rapper of all time.
Oh my God.
To me, this sounds like blasphemy.
Who says that?
This sounds like blasphemy.
Who says that?
I've heard so I was there, and it was interesting demographic there last time I went.
Yeah.
And the demographic was people my age, and then there was a 16-year-old kid, and then there was me. East Coast. I'm from the East Coast. The other people's from the South, and the other person's from New Mexico, and the other person was a kid. We're talking about Eminem, and I said, Eminem's not in my top 5. That's a whole different argument. And they asked me to say, what's your top 5 rappers? I said Jay Z undoubtably is number 1.
Okay.
They said, I can't agree with that. I don't like Jay Z. That's what the Florida person said. Then the other person from New Mexico was like, nah, Jay Z's cool. I learned from him, but he's not my favorite. Lil Wayne's my favorite. And then the 16-year-old got disrespectful. He said, man, my age range, Jay Z, they only know Jay Z because he's married to Beyonce. Nobody cares about Jay Z. Then I'm like, damn, what the hell? Then I go to my baby mama and I say, yo, she's from Iowa.
Right.
I'm like, do y'all care about Jay Z? Iowa don't care about Jay Z. Like, we don't care, man. We listen to T.I. We listen to all them other people, Jay Z. Then I'm hearing Boosie talk about Jay Z, talking about he's bigger than Jay Z. Future talking about bigger. Are we living in some type of utopia world where Jay Z's not number 1? I thought this was obvious Jay Z was number 1. What's going on? And then y'all laughed at me when I said Future could beat Jay Z in a versus. That's what the world
Apparently
thinks.
That's what you thought too, because you said he would beat him.
I said it's closer than people think. That doesn't make him better than Jay Z. What's going on? That's the question.
Look, all them people you just mentioned, hey, listen, respect to them. Hey, in the words of Fabulous, opinions are like asshole, everybody got one. I respect everybody's opinion, but respectfully, a 16-year-old, unless he has some sort of sibling, someone older around him to put him on the Jay Z, I don't expect him to ever understand the impact of Jay Z and what he did. So that answer don't throw me off. It's the people our age or a little bit older who I would probably be like, oh, damn, you feel that way? Let's be clear. Jay Z absolutely is a East Coast artist. Even the music that he has made, like he hasn't really made, I would say, music that is a little bit more worldwide leaning. Even in the U.S. Recently I've been thinking about this, hip hop is so leaning towards New York City because of where it came from. It was birthed in the Bronx. New York rap is the mecca of hip hop. But people forget about the fact that the majority of black people in the U.S. exist in the South. And so when you start bringing in these other rappers who, like Lil Wayne, who is actually from the South, I kind of expect people to identify with Wayne before a Jay Z. They might ignore the ability to rap. I'm not surprised when I hear this. But if I'm being honest, I think that's kind of Jay Z's doing. Because
what?
Not in a bad way. I'm saying if we think about his art, his music, it doesn't have like a universal feel. It don't have like an appeal to me outside of the East Coast. I'm being honest with you. I'm not saying other people outside of the East Coast can't fuck with it. I'm saying the appeal. I don't see it outside of the East Coast mainly.
What is it about his music that doesn't appeal to people in the South? Because, here's the thing. A lot of people are insulting themselves when they say this. They're like, Jay Z's music was just too next level. What does that say about people who are listening to music in the South when you say things like that? That's why I'm like, I don't think that can't be true.
No, I was very clear to not say and make it seem like people in the South are dumb. I just said appeal because what I'm getting at is his lifestyle and what he talked about. Not saying what he was saying was so complex.
People in the South have that. People on the West Coast have that.
Yeah, but come on, let's be honest. There's a something about rappers and just music that there's relatability. There's identity drivenness that draws us to certain artists. I'm going to tell you this, and this is going to sound ridiculous. Jay-Z's quote unquote slaps. The ones that
the
bangers, Jay-Z's bangers. Do you believe they have more of like a party, just carefree, more appealing? I know he got joints. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm saying.
I'm saying.
Think about it.
Put on Hard Knock Life. It's a hard knock life for.
I
Oh
understand
my
that.
God. I'm like, yo.
Yo, there's something here to this argument. This is why people never mention Nas in these conversations.
That's true.
We're not talking about somebody's ability
We were
to
supposed
rap.
to talk about not.
When everything I'm saying points to that exact point. When people from Iowa, when people from this place, when they don't put the respect on Jay Z's name, it has nothing to do with his ability to rap. They don't see the slaps. Where the slaps at, bro?
I actually think the South and wherever else, the way they view music is more healthy than the way us East Coasters. The Southern people view music more as a feel.
I like that
their
take.
energy, you know. And so when you hear songs like Nelly, Country Grammar, you hear songs like Future, March Madness, that's enjoyable.
Bro, why do you think people love Drake so damn much?
On that interview with Bobby Altoff, she said, she asked some great questions. She asked him, she said, or like if somebody says, what's a song that you made? What song do you reference? And Drake said, Kiki. Kiki, do you love me? And she said, why that song? She said, Drake said, because that was the first one that I thought hit, like really, really hit. That surprised me. Drake was a veteran by
That was on Scorpion.
Drake
That was on Scorpion.
Drake done made Hotline Bling, I believe, by that time,
Yep.
maybe.
God's
Made
Plan was
God's
out.
Plan.
Yep.
It was In My Feelings that penetrated the music landscape.
But that makes sense.
It's enjoyable. It's fun. It's not a lyrical, super duper lyrical song. And I think Southern people outside of the East Coast view music more healthy, in my opinion. I feel like East Coasters, we're too critical.
I agree with that 100%. That's a good point. I want to be clear. People outside of the East appreciate lyricalness too. However, I believe there's more of a balance elsewhere.
Yes.
Enjoyable. You don't got to get super lyrical. Just make me feel good with the music.
When people think of rappers, like, especially in this day and age, New York is one city in America. How critical we are, what we like, it's not what everybody got to like.
At all.
So I get it.
Listen to the full episode, link below.